Mr. Jeff, your VBDL Explorer host, with another fun project for you to do today. We're going to be doing pop-up cards. Have you ever gotten a card in the mail that's a surprise card? And it might be even more of a surprise if it's a pop-up moving kind of card. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that today. So when you look at the examples we have here, these particular cards, the shape of them will fit into a regular size business envelope. And when you go to your VBDL branch, we are going to provide the paper materials for you. So you'll have an envelope, you'll have the cardstock, which is 9 by 8 pieces, 9 by 8 inches, and some other accessory pieces of paper we're going to provide for you. Here's an example of one. So the outside of this card you can design any way you want to. I used hearts on here. Now the inside is what's the pop-up part. So this one is designed where you have a tab at the bottom. When you pull down on that tab, then all the shapes that you're going to create will move. And so this is kind of a sliding pop-up. Okay. Here's some other examples. This one has flowers on the outside and it has flower for the pop-up too. So it's the same idea, but just a different kind of shape. And here's another heart one, since we're getting close to Valentine's Day. So, and you can write things on here. I also use some stamps on some of these as well. And then here's one for St. Patrick's Day, since that's coming up really quick next month. And we're going to have that before you know it. So here's some Shamrocks. So these really are kind of fun to interact with. They're going to have some movement. And when we do this project, I just also want to remind you that we're going to be talking about some of the design elements. This is what we're, if you remember from the last Explorer, we had some texture and some shape and color that we used. So shape and color are going to be important on this one too. So when you do the card, think about the kind of shape you want to have that you're going to start with, your main shape. And again, I showed you some hearts, some shamrocks, some flowers. So those are very simple shapes that work out really well. When you get your VBDL bag, we'll also have 3 by 3 inch paper to cut the shape out with. So a very simple shape, a heart shape, all you do, if you've done this before, fold the paper in half, draw with your pencil the outline of half the heart shape, and then simply unfold that, and you can use that as the pattern to trace onto your other pieces. And just simply do that with your pencil, and then that way you can cut these out and use those as your project. So the heart does work out very nicely. So I've already done that, and I have 7 of these cut out already. I also used some markers on here. So if you have some permanent markers or some Crayola markers, that'll come in really handy. The other things you're going to need for this project for yourself will be a glue stick or white glue beside your pencil, scissors, a ruler will come in handy too. And if you have other materials like colored pencils, those can be fun accessories as well. So once you've got all your pieces designed and cut out, then we're going to be starting to put them onto the paper. Now, the paper we provide is going to be this 3 inch by 12 inch piece of paper. It's just a big strip. And what you're going to do is you'll take your shape, in this case the heart shape, and you're going to start by putting that right at the very bottom of that paper, okay? And then once you'll do that, you're going to simply draw a straight line across the top of this, where your 2 tip points of the heart shape meet. Once you do that, then connect that with a line with your pencil and your straight ruler, okay? Then you're going to have to measure. Now the measurement, you don't want to make it too big or too small, so about 3/8 of an inch. So if you go to your ruler and it's just not quite a ½ inch, but it's 3/8 of an inch, make a little dot, move it over another 3/8, make another dot. Keep doing that till you have 7. And I would do that on the other side as well. So you have 7 equal spaced 3/8 inch dots. Go ahead with your ruler and draw your line connecting all those so you have a straight line. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to end up folding this. So again, if you have a nice, this is a metal ruler, if you have one that's kind of thin, that works also really nice to help you make a crease. So if I take this and bend the paper back, make a crease, and then pull it this direction, make a really nice sharp crease. Do that on all of your lines that you just did. And so you're going to have, this is going to be your fold marks, which is going to make your shape move. Okay, so do all that, have nice creases on everything. Then the next step is to take your shape again, and I did this one on this one as well. Take your shape and simply place that on top of the second line that you drew, and just trace around the very top of that heart shape. So you have two shapes that look like this. And then just keep repeating that over and over again on the next line, again and again, until everything is filled up. Now I went over this one with a marker so you can see it a little bit better. So the next step is to glue. Okay, so I'm going to actually start to glue here. And again, glue stick works nice. I have a nice white glue applicator, so I'm just going to use this, going to get a little bit more of a selected area. And I'm going to then put this right on top of that. So I'm not gluing the entire heart down, I'm just gluing part of it down. And then I'm going to do the next one. And just keep doing that until they're all in place. Okay, just carefully put that on top of your line like you had it. Now this one I'm going to use a green one here, just to change the color up a little bit. Okay, and just going to keep doing each one of these like that. I'll go back to the blue here again, and another green one here. And I went over these with a marker, so you don't have to do that. Maybe you might want to do some writing on yours. I also use the stamp on some of them, so you can do all kinds of things. Write little certain messages in here as they're flipping through. The other one I showed you earlier, I also had my Xerox picture on there too, so you can use a thin Xerox on there. Okay, so there's my last one right here. I'm going to glue down, and here we go. So here are all of our heart shapes glued down. Okay, so the top one, you're going to fold that down, and then you're going to have a little bit of an extra left over here at the bottom. So what I'm going to suggest you do is take, and it's going to be about an inch left over, so make a little dot at the bottom of where that top paper stops, at that corner, at this corner, and then measure in an inch and a half, because this is 3 inches, measure in an inch and a half, and have a dot right at the center. And then simply when you get that, draw the line and draw this line here. Now this is going to be the tab that will be helpful for you to actually pull down and make this move. Okay, so I'm going to cut that with a pair of scissors, and there we go. So now we need to do one more thing, and that is create a little bit of a loop. And what I'm going to do here, this is going to be a 6-inch piece of paper that we're going to give to you. So take that and put that at the bottom, and then fold this over on both ends like this. And then what you're going to want to do is to glue the top side only, just the top side. So this little tab that you got right here with some glue, and you can use the glue stick on this too, it doesn't matter, whichever one you want. And then just simply glue that down on the top side. here, and here. Okay, so what's going to happen then is this extra little tab is going to go through this loop, and that's going to be able to pull it down. So the next thing to do then is to attach this to the card. Now you don't want to glue the whole thing because it has to move, so all you'll be doing is taking the other 4-inch piece of paper and then simply gluing that right on top of where you want it to go. So I'm going to put the glue stick, I'll use the glue stick on this one, and just put that over the whole piece of paper, and that's going to go over the other paper that you had here. I'm going to center that and then put that here and here. And get that on top of there just a little bit. Okay. So now you've pretty much completed your pop-up card. You can design the outside with more hearts or whatever you want. Okay, I think that this one is probably going to work better with a white glue. Let it set up a little bit. Then you can just pull this down and it should work just like this one. Okay? So, explorers, have fun with your pop-up cards, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.